Hey everybody, welcome back. Steven here from Northwest Small Batch Brewing, and this is going to be kind of a couple things that I talk about in this video. This is a brew talk. I'm in between, well, I'm currently brewing a beer, but it's not ready to show you yet. So, while I'm waiting for that, first thing is a little experiment I did. This is my Schwartz beer. Now, I kegged it, but I did bottle a few of them. And this one in particular, instead of using just standard table sugar to carbonate it, bottle condition it, I used DME, dry malt extract. The idea being that dry malt extract is actually dry malt, beer. So you'd think the claim is you get better flavor. These are just my notes to make sure I knew it's a Schwartz beer, and that this is the one that I put DME. So it's just a little experiment. Now I think I didn't put enough. That's the other thing. I used a calculator, but I feel like it wasn't enough. I think I put 3 grams of DME in this. So I'm going to see if it sounds like it carbonated. Oh, I heard a little something, so I don't know how well it's carbonated, but there's something going on in there. Let's take a look. I mean, it looks like it has some carbonation going on. That's good. We don't want all the yeast and stuff left behind. Set that aside. And yeah. We'll see if I feel like if it tastes any different than what I have just off the keg or what I had. I mean, it obviously looks the same. I will say this, the head retention, by the way, there's less head retention in it than there was with from the keg. I will say when using DME, it foamed up immediately. Like when I was, I put the DME in the bottle, started to fill it up with the beer, and it just foamed up. I had to actually set it aside, do some of the other bottles, and come back to it to finish filling the bottle because the DME just foamed up, which in that alone makes it kind of like, unless somebody knows a trick out there, I don't usually use DME for carbonating, but that makes it kind of not great for bottling because you're not going to want to deal with that for every bottle that you do. And again, the head retention went away super fast for some reason with that. It's definitely carbonated. God, I hate to say it, but I do feel like it has a different flavor, like a more malty flavor. I'll talk about some other things and I'll come back to this. All right, so the real reason for this video is a follow-up to last week's video. So last week's video, I talked about my brewing system and some of the shortcomings of it, which, again, every brewing system has its, quirks and shortcomings. There's not a perfect system out there. And also part of it is how you need to brew. Like, one brewing system might be great for one person, but it doesn't meet the needs that you have. So let's start with the elements. So I told you how the element, and I showed you a picture of how it burned out, and it had all kinds of problems, and I had to take it apart and fix it and put it back together so many times. So this is that element. All right. This is just the O-ring. I'm just going to slide that off. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but there's 2 things going on. First of all, let me try to point this, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but at the base where the element connects, it's got like a well, right? It goes in a little bit there. One of the problems with that is it gets kind of, covered with your wort, and it just is impossible to get in there and get clean. Also, I feel like water that gets there leaks into the actual chamber where the cables are, and that's when they become corroded and start shorting out and have issues. So I feel like, now, this is the original element that came with my system. I'm going to show you the one that I replaced it with. And, for all I know, the guys that make my brewing system might have started using a different element. They might not even use this element anymore. Anyway, there's also a ground on this side right here. That's what the screw is. So on the inside, the ground cable connects to it. This is a bad design. And again, it's not designed by the company that made my brewing system. They ordered these, I'm sure, like from a Chinese company. But the problem is when you screw the ground onto this, it makes it hard to twist and tighten the element because it's now attached. So if you did that, it would actually twist the wires that are attached on the inside and rip the ground right off of this. So it's not a great design for that reason. Now, keep in mind what I said about the ground, but also especially about the indentation here, right? So the exact same, wattage and low density, blah, 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 on Amazon got me this. Now, I did have to buy the power cable separately, but that's okay. It got me this. Now, you'll notice it's got a shorter base on it, right? You can see that. Why? I don't know. It doesn't seem to have made a difference. I did use this already. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is there's no indent. There's no well at the bottom. So guess what? This is way easier to clean. Now, you may be noticing some markings on the base. That is not dirt or like leftover from my last brew day. That's just from the manufacturing. The aluminum or whatever is got those markings on it. That's not unclean. But the point is you can get in there and really clean. Like you can get that clean, which you couldn't really do on the other element. The other thing is you'll notice there's no screw on the outside of this. That's because the ground wire is inside here connected to the actual like device. So that you can actually unscrew this and screw the casing without it messing up the wiring at all. So far, I have found this here. It's written right on here. This 120 volt, 1650 watt, low density. This is from DERNORD. I don't know, but I suppose I could put a link in the description if you're interested. But you do have to buy the power cable separately and attach it. But this design, I feel like the design is actually quite a bit better than my original one. And like I said, it's been a few years, so the brewing company that I bought my system from might be using a newer style. I know that they are like last time I noticed they were trying out some different grain baskets, you know. So the nice thing about the system that I brew on is that these guys are actually home brewers themselves. They're passionate about home brewing. It's not like a brewing system made by somebody that's just trying to make money, you know. I mean, it is a business, but it's not just a business. They're actually passionate and they use their systems and they have videos of them using them. And you can tell they're into the whole, you know, brewing, you know, home brewing, you know, thing. So that's pretty cool that, you know, they're passionate about it. The PID. So here's the thing with the PID. So I was watching a video there the other day and someone said, do you really think that recirculating the wort through the pump and the hoses really adds that much to the efficiency of your beer? And I always thought no, which is why I haven't been using them for quite a while. And what they said was, it helps a little bit, but that's not the primary reason really for using the hoses and the recirculating. It doesn't help your efficiency that much. It's actually so you can maintain the correct temperature of your wort, because your element is radiating heat and it takes time for it to move up and the heat to rise up to the top of your kettle. And by the time it does that, it's much hotter on the bottom than it is up top, and it's going to fluctuate. And I thought, oh, I wonder why if that's part of the problem I'm having. So the last brew day I had last weekend, I hooked up all the hoses and the pump, which I haven't done in a long time. And sure enough, it did a pretty good job of holding the mash temperature to what I set. So I mean, it's only one test I've done so far, but based on that, I would say if you're having trouble with maintaining mash temperature and you haven't been recirculating, consider recirculating your wort and seeing if that helps. Because for me, it seems to have made a difference. Anyway, I think that's all I've got. I will say that there is a different flavor to this beer. It is slightly better with the DME. Not enough for me to start using it because it was a hassle with the fizzing up and everything. But I'm going to be doing another type of carbonating down the road here. Maybe on the next beer I brew, I'm going to try something, and I'll bring that to you and let you know how well that works and what a pain or not pain that is. Anyway, I'll be back in a week for another video, and until then, keep on brewing.